Good morning, gardening friends. I'm Lark, and I'm in Wisconsin, Zone 5, and I'd like to take you for a walk through my September veggie garden down in the bog area. Mostly containers, but some planting directly in the ground. It's continually moist down here, and you'll see that this is an herb called jewelweed. It's very prevalent back here. Oh, so pretty this time of the year. The bees and the hummingbirds like it. I threw pumpkins back here last fall, and one did come up, and it's really the only one that's doing good. All I can see is one pumpkin on it right now. But time will tell, but it's probably a good 6 weeks, and we'll see what it produces. Looks like it's starting to get a fungus. Back here, I do not, in the ground, in the wild area here, I do not spray, I do not water, I just leave it be. My compost pile is on this side of the bog garden. There's a veggie bog garden, fenced in. My latest compost pile, newest. Grass clippings, yard scraps, veggies from the house, in a bucket. I bring them down here. Dried leaves, newspaper, shredded newspaper, coffee grounds. That all goes in there. I do not turn it, or not often. Scarlet runner beans, doing nicely. I will pick them just about this size here, is what I like. Any bigger and they get seedy. Plus I have the fence around here anyways, I might as well use it. Next year I'm going to do cucumbers on it. Now these are my potatoes, and they're starting to die back. They're probably about 100 days old. Now they are getting eaten, and I stopped spraying with soapy water, and little holes in it. I hope it's not affecting the plant itself, the tuber. I have comfrey back in here also. I keep some close to all the gardens, so when cutting it back I can use it for a fertilizer. Now these here I see are starting to go to flower, so I will use them for making my oil infusions. Can you see the flower started? That's the best time to harvest them. So I'm anxious. All of you have been, or a lot of you have been harvesting your potatoes, so we'll see. I cut them in pieces this year. I've never done that. I planted the whole potato, so we'll see what it gives me. Succession planting of dill, and this is the compost pile I've been working off of, and I just left a couple cucumbers grow because for a while I didn't have cucumber plants. This one here is called Telegraph. It's long and a smooth skin. Another one I have is long and very spiky, and that's Soyu. S-O-Y-U. Perilla is the burgundy plant, herb. These are reseeds very late, but I will let it reseed more along this path here for next year. I think the smell of it helps deter some bad pests, some bad bugs. More perilla going to seed. Amaranth, Hopi. And I'll shake the seed into a clear, small Rubbermaid tote so I can see what I'm doing and have a bigger vessel for the head to shake into. I think I have more calendula back here too. Yep. Gotta harvest that today. Those are Gloriosa daisies. I think the amaranth is so pretty. I'm going to be shaking that seed in some bare spots in the wild area. Purslane. Everybody has purslane. Not everybody eats it, but I think everybody has it. I also have, let's see, plantain down here too. Another herb and pretty is great blue lobelia. Oh, look at the hummingbird moth. Asters are starting to bloom. The bees love this area, and it helps with pollination immensely. Just a lot of bees and hoverflies and, oh, what do you call those other ones? Those mason bees. Some more cucumber. More than I can eat now, but I didn't think I was going to have any. Then I have asparagus coming up from seed in here along the path. Some peppers, cayenne. This was just an extra space I had outside the garden. I have cilantro, another planting of cilantro in here. Still have some I'm harvesting, and then that's for a little later. So let's go into my veggie bog container area, and I'm growing blueberries. I planted them, I think it was May. Amended the soil using peat moss, compost, more peat moss, compost, some topsoil, and then topped it off, and a soil acidifier. 3 different types, and they're the Arctic series for our cold Wisconsin winter, so I'm so hoping I get them. I eat blueberries daily. More calendula, and there were cucumbers on here, but they died back like all the other ones. There was a grub in the soil. So the calendula are by themselves now. And some dill. And more borage. And some baby dill coming up. And cilantro I'm harvesting. In these containers, I used unfinished compost on the bottom of the pot with holes in the pot, sunk into the bog at least 8 inches, hoping that it's wicking the nutrients. These containers seem to be doing okay. They do need watering daily when it's 90 like this. Every other day. This is Polish linguiça, good paste tomato. You can hear those bees. Cayenne peppers. Amish paste that looked very bad in the beginning, and now it's setting some nice fruit, and hopefully it'll ripen before we get a freeze. I put borage in several of the containers too, so it's attracting bees. Blight is hitting down here also. I showed you the blight that hit up in my raised veggie garden. Yucky. On this side of the fenced in area, I have the red noodle bean. It's purple. They don't taste, they're very mild. I guess I like a lot of flavor. I'm kind of spicy. I like spicy. So next year I won't be growing those. It's more of a novelty. The kids like them. And they're in a container also. And I save, and it's sunk in the ground, and I save bird cages to put over things when the bunnies get in here, the woodchuck, or even mice. Probably mice could fit through that opening, but mostly the bunnies and the woodchuck. More Red Bull beets for the greens and for the beet. Good flavor. Perilla. Some of my peppers. I told you up in the raised bed, they're not doing so good. Better down here. Succession planting of my green onions. And this is what the peppers get. You see, the leaf comes off easily and they get that disease this year. Don't know why, but I guess sometimes we have bad luck with veggies. Over here, I threw some tomatoes, extras, and they're growing beautifully. Never have been watered, never sprayed with even soapy water, nothing. They don't have blight. Now, go figure. Why are they not getting blight? And they're on the ground. So, I don't know. My cherry tomato, getting blight, but I'm still getting tomatoes off of it, so we're going to leave it. I'm done picking blight off. Here in Wisconsin, we could get a frost in a few weeks. It's been done, and I hope we don't get it again. Some basil in here, succession planting a kohlrabi when the other ones up in the raised bed are done. Succession planting of dill. Celebrity tomato. A yellow bell. Never looked good either. Really never real good. I'm getting yellow bells off of them, which is better than years past, because I started these early. I'd maybe get one bell pepper, and it never was red. I had to pick it green. This is a brandy wine, and I've been cutting off the suckers now, because these here, I don't even know if these are going to amount to anything before we get a frost. More basil, more dill in a container. My fire pit that I had planted in lettuces, it's winding down, but I'm still getting a few. Enough, hopefully, until my lettuce that I planted up in the raised bed starts coming in nicely. Scarlet runner beans. And then my cattle fencing I made into an arch. It is now about 5 years old, and it's still doing real good, except for the tree falling on the other half of it. But we were able to bend it pretty good back into shape, enough to get harvest off of it this year. More celery. Let's see if we... Now this is planted directly in the ground down here. Don't have to water this as much because this is sitting on a bog. Now, celery from the store is milder. This is a stronger taste. This is a Kentucky Wonder pole bean putting on its second flush, and hopefully these darn Japanese beetles are done pretty soon, procreating. My first planting of green onions in these pots. I'm still harvesting them, and hopefully until the baby ones start kicking in. And here's the pots underneath the arch for the Kentucky Wonder pole beans. This works out excellent. I see that Cal Kim is doing it now, the cattle fencing, and Patrick's doing it from One Yard Revolution. It works great, you guys. You're going to really like it through the years. There's a succession planting of peas on the other side here. We'll see if I get peas. Peas, and then some of the Japanese yard-long red noodle bean. And the peas are putting on peas. But it's been so hot for them. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see. It might correct itself as it gets cooler. And a tomato that was a waste. Supposed to be a Juliet. I bought from a person, not a company. And it is not a Juliet. I think it's a cross. I think she saved the seed and it crossed. They're almost worthless. I'm going to see if I can dry them and use them for sun-dried tomatoes. They're much bigger and very hollow inside. So that was a lesson learned too. I will only buy from a reputable company or from a person I can trust is not saving seed that may be cross-pollinated. Learning lessons. Life's learning lessons. Pepper, I don't think I'm going to get one. It's supposed to be my poblano. I'll try it earlier next year. It's the only plant I bought. And the pepper plant was awfully small in the beginning. So, and then that disease that I talked about, this, has taken over. Lemongrass that I started from seed and I planted it directly in the bog. I'll be harvesting that. But Donna's from Rainbow Gardens is doing real good. Let's see if I can take you over there and show you the lemongrass. I hope I can harvest some blueberries next year. Oh, the hummingbird, the butterflies like this one. This is wild Joe Pye. Some more comfrey. No, that is not marijuana. That is Queen of the Prairie. Not that I wouldn't grow it, but it's not legal here in Wisconsin. And since I'm a law-abiding citizen, I will not grow it. Here, Donna, here's your lemongrass. And I'm going to watch your video and see how I harvest it, but it's getting that purple color you talked about. So thanks again. I'll be freezing some of it. So I'll just walk a little here in the wild area and say goodbye and just let you look for a while. Thank you, my gardening friends. I know sometimes these updates get boring, but it's so pretty out. It's morning and it's not in the 90s yet, so that's a good thing. Bye-bye.